It might be working now. Let's try it.
Makeup, yeah, you gotta make up.
It should be working.
Should be on that.
Yeah, we good. You heard?
Oh, it's live?
Yeah.
Okay.
There it is.
Yep.
See?
Yeah. You can curve it over a little bit more.
Okay.
See this?
All right, Shalom. Shalom, shalom. All right, we want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. All right, Yahweh is the Heavenly Father's name. His son's name is Yahweh Shai, the Savior of the elected Israel. And double honors to our elders and apostles of Israel in these times, known as Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. Shalom to all those tuning in through the Spirit, which means peace and blessings. All right, and we're going to get into this topic for a little bit, and we're going to have fun with it. All right, we're going to have fun with it because all these years Esau's been having fun with us.
Right.
You know, doing whatever he wants as the eye in the sky, but he doesn't know there's an eye higher than him that was revealed all the secrets unto us, and we know your every move. All right, you may do like surprise us with like the whole Trump thing. We didn't expect that, you know. But there's certain things that we know that you think you're not gonna do, but you have to do it. All right, you're doing everything that we tell you to do. Why? Because like the video says, you have no choice, and your back is against the wall. And we're gonna continue to laugh at you scared Edomites. Whatever precepts I can got.
Precept. This is Matthew 10 and 22. It says, "And you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endureth to the end shall be saved." And this is the whole point. We're gonna be hated of all men, even our own people is gonna come up against us, and we see this on the comment boards and regular conversations at work, wherever you may be. People hate you because of who you are, and the spirit, really, the spirit speaks to each spirit. They know who you are, and we're going to be slighted. We're going to be hated by all men because of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. It's not our own doing. It has nothing to do with us, but it really has everything to do with us because we represent Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So therefore, they hate the glory that's in us. Remember, the quickening of the spirit that makes us alive is the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. And that spirit is what they hate. Because what they say, we're nothing. They always try to downplay who we are as a people. We're bums. We have no jobs. Well, how the hell we get iPhones? How the hell we get internet service? How do we get to places when we visit other camps in other states? How do we do that? You see what I'm saying? But they want to downplay who we really truly are, which is the kings of the earth, behind Yahweh Shai and Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, bringing us up with them, you know, by the spirit. And this spirit is what they hate. Because when you persecute Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, they definitely going to persecute us because we're his representatives. We his representatives.
Yeah.
You see?
This is John 15 and 17. It says, "These things I command you, that ye love one another." And the reason why I got that is because it's on the flip side. You see, since y'all claim that Christianity and y'all like to read out of the scriptures, this is one of the scriptures you bring to us. You say it's about love because you don't understand what love is.
Right.
So you say it's about love. But now that the truth is being brought out, it turned into hatred.
Wait a minute.
So I question, you hear him? So wait a minute. So our question to you is, well, where's the love? Because the only thing that we're bringing out is scriptures. And it proves it proves that everybody, the world is really full of hate more than you think it is. All right? Because at the end of the day, it's either one way or guess what? You hate everything else. Same thing with you. Since we don't agree with you, you show us your hatred. Likewise, y'all don't agree with us, and we show you our hatred through the scriptures. All right, and we show it. All right, it says John 15, verse 18, if the world hates you, and we know that that word world is referring to Israel, but at the same time, remember, it's the flip side of things, okay? If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you, and guess what? If the so-called, and I'll say this, the so-called Jews, meaning those of Israel, because remember, you're only an Israelite in your spirit, all right? The ones that truly believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, even amongst Israel. Remember, not all Israel is of Israel. So even, Salakia, let me read it again. This is, if the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. Not only is it talking about wicked Israelites, guess what? It's talking about y'all because y'all took this book on yourselves. You took this and you applied it. All right? In the same way, look, if they hated Yahushua, we know for damn sure you heathen hate Yahushua. You see, you hate us. You hate the prophets. You despise us, man. Okay?
Where you read from?
John 15.
Because in the Matthews, what I read, it says all men. All men means just that, like you said, both sides. Israel and the other nations, man. The 2/3 of Israel hate Israel, the ones who represent the truth, represents righteousness, man, and pushing it to their people so they can be saved. Because it says that those who endure to the end are the same saved. So this is who we trying to bring along because Yahushua is bringing us along. You see? And like you said, God, just continue what you were saying. Because what you said is the flip side. If you trying to represent righteousness, who are you bringing along?
And if I may say this, we know that this scripture is talking about Israel. For example, just like in Revelation, the 2nd chapter, right? I know thy poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. We know that's talking about Jews. We know that's talking about really Israelites. But we always apply that to what? The so-called Jews and heathen, right? You know how you qualify that? Remember John the Baptist, what? He corrected who? He corrected, what was it, Herod? No. He was placed over the Jews at the time. And remember, he committed adultery with his brother's woman. So he said, well, look, well, if you committed adultery, he basically used the law on a heathen. So if you're going to act like you're the king of the Jews and running the Jews, then you have to apply this thing. You see? So even though our laws are not talking about the heathen, since you want to put it on yourself, then you're accountable to it. It's twofold. You see? And it says, John 15 and verse 19, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. And that's not just talking about the 2/3 of Jacob. That's talking about everybody else. They naturally hate us, man. All right? The world hates us, man. Why? Because we're not of your turn. See, you love wicked ass niggas, man. Just like the elder Yashawama said, you have no problem. How come y'all guys didn't make these rap songs terroristic? Here it is, you have all this rap music talking about kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, all this crazy shit.
Yeah, Rick Ross, when he said that, it sparked me to look up some of the albums that came out this year, and I clicked on Rick Ross' album, and he got a track called Born to Kill.
Right.
I'm like, yo, what the hell?
Right, and you got all this evil, demonic rap music talking about killing another Jake, but y'all don't say this language is hate speech. But as soon as we come and say that this truth ain't for you, you cry back and say, wait a minute, we're all human, we're all one. Yeah. You see, you guys are hypocrites, man.
Well, that's because the record companies are actually owned by the so-called Jews.
And you know what? I don't know if brother seen this, but it only had I don't even think it had a full season. It had a couple of shows. It was a rap summit. It had T.I. and a couple of rappers a couple of years ago. It was years ago.
Oh, and the dude stood up and.
But they were basically, the crowd was asking the rappers questions, and they was basically saying, well, why y'all rap about killing each other and stuff like that or whatever. He was like, well, they basically broke it down that the executives want them to rap a certain way.
There you go.
He said, if we don't rap a certain way or rap it, what are we supposed to do? He basically felt as though like we can't rap about anything else. We have to rap about this. All right, and that goddamn season got cut short, man. You see? So they promote us hating each other.
Right.
But then again, when we talk about the scriptures and it's for us and the upliftment of our people, you're like, it's for everybody. Y'all hate.
Right.
You see? You're hypocrites, man. If another brother has something.
I was gonna say that's what Apostle Romlove video. He said if you want to know who's the rulers, find out who you can't criticize.
Yeah.
'Cause we can say what we want about Jake and everybody else.
Right.
You start talking about Amalek, then stuff starts to happen, man. You know.
Right. Get shut down. Doors closed.
I got a quick scripture. This is Psalms 105 and verse 23. It says, Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. And he increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. He turned their hearts to hate his people, to deal subtly with his servants. So just like the Lord did back then with Egypt, you know, we was brought into a lower state, you know, and we was made to serve the Egyptians. The Lord made us mighty. So Esau at the point in time where he knows he has to do something because the article came out a few weeks ago, that was like a million Hebrew Israelites, man, in America. You know? So they, at one point, this is how you know, at one point it was like a media blackout on the Israelites. It was everywhere. But they ain't never talk about us. Now all of a sudden, they want to talk about us. You know, because at that time, they didn't want to shed too much light on us. You know, to make more people aware. But now, too many people aware, now they got to hijack the narrative. You see? But that's all according to the Spirit. The Most High is making you to hate his people. You know, so that you can do what you need to do. And then he going to do what he needs to do. It's all prophecy.
Real quick, it's Matthew 24 and verse 12. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Esau, your facade of love, of what you personify as love in this world today, in this society, is slowly but surely being peeled back, and everyone's finding out that it's a lie. That all this love that you're talking about is really masked with secret hatred. All right, because if you're not telling the truth, that means you're lying to someone. That means you truly just hate them. You don't want what's best for their interests. All right.
Well, yeah, his interest.
And the thing is, we're bringing out the truth at such a high frequency that it's pushing you into a corner.
Yeah.
We bring out the truth so much, and not just us. You have whistleblowers, like the whole thing with the shooting thing. You had to cover so many loopholes so quick because what happens is people have microwave attention spans. So when something like this happens or anything big happens, the masses of people want to know quickly. So Esau has to act quick, you know. And when you start acting quick like that, you start slipping up. Just like when you're backed in the corner, you can't do too much when you're in the corner fighting somebody, you know. Now what's he doing? He's biting ears and shit. He's biting ears. Using kicks, you know. You're not even supposed to use your legs. This nigga's cheating.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He's not playing fair.
Yeah.
He never plays fair. You know. If it's not in his favor, if I had the fatness of the earth, you know what I'm saying, to do what you want to do, go anywhere where you want, you're gonna have to play by my rules. It goes with the territory. It's not a bad thing, but you have to remember Esau, Edom, so-called white man. You have to remember that your future is foretold in this book, and you lose in the end. You didn't read the whole book. You see what I'm saying? You only read the parts that you could use and use for your gain, but you don't understand that there's an end for you. You see, it's an end for you in this book, and you haven't read it. This is why they never go to those scriptures. This is why they never talk about these scriptures that we bring out, and the scriptures that seems as though to go against him, which it does. They hate us for it, for bringing it out, and we just bringing out what's written in the book. It's not our own opinion. It's what's written in the book, and what's written in the book have not been told this way until the end times. This is what the scriptures also talk about. That these words, the hatred of people, the waxing cold, the hate of all men is coming in the end times. And this was not prophesied years ago, you see? we was it was like a gain. They were just gaining people, gaining up kingdoms, like the scriptures say. And in the end, he meets his demise. That's all we bringing out.
Yeah. I appreciate it. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. And it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them."
Why we rejoice? Why we rejoice? Because when you read up in 12, it talks about the woman. Read verse 1 real quick.
Verse 1. Because this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1. "And there appeared a great wonder in heaven,
Right.
a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet."
Right, that's the wisdom and knowledge of the Israelites, man. And we've got it. We now see it, we understand it, and it's been given to us. Yeah, hey, we've only figured this out because the Lord put the Spirit on Israel to say these things in the end times. So that woman represents Israel and the wisdom and understanding that she has of the truth, of righteousness. The whole spiel. Okay, go ahead.
Come. And it says, "And upon her head a crown of 12 stars."
Right, a crown of 12 stars is the representation of the righteousness of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, if it was 18 stars, then you would say, oh, maybe it's 18 nations, maybe it's for everyone. No, this woman represents Israel. Go ahead.
And it says,
Yep.
verse 2, "And she being born with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Go ahead.
And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns."
So we see the representation of Israel and the man-child that she's going to deliver, because when you read down, it talks about the man-child that they try to kill, which represents Yahweh, who the world called Jesus. He's the head of the crown of the 12 stars. You see what I'm saying? So see, we figure this out, Esau, Edom, Amalek, Idumea, whatever you want to call yourself, so-called white man, Russia, whatever you want to call yourself in these times, we figure this out only through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai.
Right.
So go back to what you was reading.
Come, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. I'll start.
Go ahead.
"And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation
Right.
and strength,
Right.
and the kingdom of our power,
Right.
and the kingdom of his
Anointed.
Mashiach,
That's
yeah,
right.
the
Yeah.
anointed."
Right. The anointed is Israel. See, it still represents Israel. Keep going.
And it says, for the accuser of our brethren."
Right. And I did the video this week about the accuser of our brethren, man. Who is that?
Yeah.
Who is the accuser of our brethren? Who's the accuser of Israel?
This man got an itemized list,
Yeah.
you know, of all the tribes and what's wrong with them.
And with the spirit of Yahshua said something's going to have to come out with all the negative things they feel is negative that we've said in some type of documentary or video, some type of book is all this. This is what Yahshua said. He said in the spirit.
Cataloged.
Right, all cataloged and what people said, and they're going to line everything up. Negative.
To include making people guilty based off of how people feel.
Exactly.
And also, this man, he has the technology to where he can make it look like you're saying something on camera.
Oh,
when
man.
you're not even saying it.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Not to mention the caption, it's over brothers' videos for people that are just listening.
Yeah.
When we're saying all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, what he's putting on there, he's putting Allah and all types of other stuff.
Yeah, he's the power of the air, man. He controls the airways. This is part of his blessing.
Mind you, Allah is spelled correctly.
Yeah.
Some of them other words ain't necessarily fitting.
Ain't
But
that
when
so
it gets
crazy?
to Allah, it's perfect.
Ain't that something? I see, when the video come on, you got the caption, you say, Shalom. I seen scallops. I'm like, what the
All
fuck?
messed up. All messed up.
Like, what the hell?
All messed
Scallops? Where'd that come from? You know what I'm saying? But he puts his wickedness in there. You know what I'm saying? There's always something wicked in it with his ass.
Hey, he dealing subtly with us because he just trying to find an angle to come in there and infiltrate.
Yeah.
See what's been happening because he hasn't been able to do it.
Mhm.
You know, and they've been searching for us to slip somewhere, and they can't find it, so that they know they gotta put a lie in it.
Quick precept.
Yes, sir.
Luke, since you said that, Luke 21 and 12, it says, "But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony,
Right.
prophecy. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate on what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay or resist." That's why they coming so hard at us. They have no choice. You Edomites, you have to do something because of us. We're going out every single week and bringing out this truth, doing our virtual letters. You have to come up with legislation. Trump, well, I don't know how much power he's going to have soon, but you're going to have to start acting out some of these orders that you put in place. You know, because like the brother was saying, eventually this truth is going to get put out there. All right, and Esau doesn't want us to be the ones to put the truth out to everybody. He wants to put what he wants everybody to believe the truth is.
That's why simultaneously, while he's starting to do his demonization campaign, he's also taking down videos so that the people, the witness, I don't know if I want to call them witnesses, but the jury, if you will, you know, they don't get to hear outside. You see, and that's how Esau works. But it said it's for a testimony of the Lord. So the Lord is allowing all these things to happen. He wants these things to happen so that, hey, that's how we're going to show the Lord's glory, just like what Yahweh did. You know, he had to go through what he had to go through, and he said, it is finished at the end.
Yeah,
you know?
Like you said, this is, look at what Trump just did. He impeded Congress to find out the truth of the matter. So he impeded, like you said, witnesses. He impeded the witnesses from testifying before Congress. And this is what you do see, our videos are the witnesses, man. You see what I'm saying? So when you impede the witnesses, or like the brother said, take down the videos, you impeding the understanding from what people may perceive and what's going on. Why are these people this way? Why are they speaking this way?
Yeah,
Why? What's the issue? You see? But when you impede and take down channels and videos and stuff like that, you actually taking down the witnesses. You see? Bro, you got any more on that, Ishaw? On that Revelation?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10 again. And it says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed."
Right. We are we are ushering in the kingdom of the Lord.
That's right.
You're supposed to be doing this too. This is what you're saying in your churches.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be ushering. Well, who are you really ushering? You ushering Satan straight up. You're not ushering in Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai in his kingdom. Because in his kingdom, there's order. There's an order, there's a rank and file, and who's in charge. And you're not doing that. Go ahead.
And it says, "For the accuser of our brethren is cast down,
Right.
which accused them before our power day and night."
Day and night, this is what they do. And they plot. They said they can't go to bed and they can't rise out the bed unless they figure some wickedness out. And how are we going to get these people? You see what I'm saying? The Spirit of the Lord ain't allowing you to do this.
You're right. And they losing sleep.
And you losing sleep
Bro,
too.
just think about this. Meditate on this, Akim. There's an Edomite out there watching our videos. His face is super red.
Yeah.
And then by the time the video ends, when he's done, he's going to be crying. And his wife's going to be asking, "Honey, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Why don't you just turn it off?"
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
I must watch.
That's right.
You know, there's Edomites out there just crying in their bed because they're scared.
There was Edomites that posted videos about it, saying that they was Esau, and they couldn't do nothing about it.
Wow.
And you know what? We're actually through us, the Lord is using us to actually usher in the race war.
Mm-hmm.
Because these Edomites see us, they get mad. You think they don't take it on the regular, Jake?
Mm-hmm.
It's piece by piece. They're like, man, fuck these niggas, and they go around, and they go around to everybody else, and they persecute them.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually start to hate them because of us, man. But that's the start of it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Let Jake start getting strung up like back in the day,
Mhm.
and they not gonna get charged for
Yep.
it, and
What's the
see what Jake gonna do.
That
That's
movie
right.
just came out, The Hate You See in Us or something like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it's going down.
If
You
I'm,
got something else?
if I may,
Yeah,
the
come.
brothers on the comment board, Quanawa,
Yeah, that's the
come
brother.
down.
That's the tall brother in the main camp.
Khan. Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. All right, so it's a time when he's going to rule up into a certain point, and the Lord is going to say, that's done.
Yeah.
At that moment, it's done. Just like your name. Okay, Ishaw is done. Wasted away is he. Okay, he's done. All right. It says, the next one he put Proverbs 4:16, for they sleep not, for the day is Esau.
Yeah.
Okay, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So guess what? Even if the men weren't out there prophesying, these devils will still be doing mischief. It's a part of them. They are the wicked, man. You see?
Well, yeah, they gotta have their councils, they gotta have their foreign relations, they gotta have their meetings and Bilderberg group. They have to gather together because they have no comfort. The only comfort they have is in dwelling on wickedness, man. And putting it on Israel, or where, like the brother said, it could be your doctor that you visit, it could be the teacher that's teaching your child. You know what I'm saying? It could be the restaurant waiter spitting in your food. This is how they get back at you, man. What they think they getting back at you. So they don't have to, approach us this way, but they can find another way to get to us. You know what I'm saying? And this is how. Look, the sheets came off. Where did the sheets go? Where did the KKK sheets go?
Yeah, they didn't burn it.
They ain't burned them. You know what I'm saying? They put it in there. When you watch
And
these,
they definitely not collecting dust.
no, they're not collecting dust. They just change it with a suit and tie and a white shirt and a tie, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you watch that. You watch all those KKK movies. They say we need to be doctors, we need to be dentists, we need to be teachers, we need to be lawyers. Why?
Mechanics, all that.
Why? So they could mess up society, man, from the inside covertly. You know?
Well, that's what that TV series The Watchmen was about. If you watch The Watchmen,
Right.
it was nothing about this hatred towards Jake. Esau ultimately tried to get Dr. Manhattan's power. They were the KKK, essentially.
Right.
He tried to get Dr. Manhattan's power so that once they had that type of power, they could go around and kill all niggas, man. That's what they were trying to do.
Right.
You see?
Can I bring this up?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, this is Sirach chapter 11 and verse 30. It says, like a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud, and like as a spy watcheth he for thy fall. For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil, and in things worthy praise, Salakia, in things worthy of praise will he lay blame upon thee. See that? So the things that we're doing for the Heavenly Father, Esau is trying to lay blame upon us, man. All right, things that are worthy for praise. And what is he doing? He's spying us out. All right, he's trying to spy us out. He's trying to lay blame on the ministry and control the narrative, like the brothers mentioned. All right, to make us out to be some type of terrorist.
Right.
You know?
You had something up? Did we finish reading Job 20? Just keep going in that chapter. Go to Job 20 and 4.
Oh yeah.
Keep reading that. Yeah.
Did you finish your shine?
Oh yeah. You finished Revelation? Yeah.
Because I know you wanted to bring it out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11, and it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb
Right.
and by the word of their testimony,
Talking about Israel.
and they loved not their lives unto death.
Right.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye inhabitants. Shalaki.
Hey, read that scripture again, the previous scripture. Love not their lives.
Come. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him
Uh-huh.
by the blood of the Lamb
Right.
and by the word of their testimony.
Right. This is already done, man. You are done. Like the brother said, you are Joshua. You are done, man.
Your name means done.
This is who. It's done, man.
That's so funny. Your name is speaking life right now, man. You Edomites, you know. You had I don't know, brothers. I should send out the video. There's an Edomite, and he does his long lecture, biblical lecture called "The Edomites," and he's talking about how the Edomites. Their descendants were all the people that surrounded. You saw that? They're all the people that surrounded Israel. So they're saying that they're the Arabs. They're the people in Ethiopia.
What was that?
He's saying that everybody but themselves.
What was that? They said that they was the
Let me see. I'm gonna see.
I
Yeah.
think
The Kurds.
Oh,
He said they were the Ottomans.
Yeah, Ottomans.
Yeah,
that's
he
what I was
said
thinking about.
in the Ottomans were
Oh, you
Edomites.
might-
You're
yeah.
right. They were Edomites.
Yeah. My problem with that is that Esau could play Israel, Esau could play the Egyptians, but Esau can't play Esau. You would never see that.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
know?
want to be Esau.
Because they don't want to be Esau. Come on. But this is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse.
If I can say,
Yep.
bro, it proves that he's Esau because he's getting mad at it.
Yeah.
He's pissed.
No other nation is as pissed off like he is.
Yeah.
Like, if you wasn't Esau, why are you so mad? If what we saying wasn't true, it would have no bearing.
Yeah.
You know? But you know you did these things, and you mad that the scriptures say you got to go into slavery for it, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, the Cushites, even at camp, we tell Cushites, like, yeah, you know you're Cush,
Yeah.
Cush, right?
Yeah,
Cush.
Cush, yeah.
Or the Hamites, you're
Right.
a Hamite,
Right.
Hamite,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
And then they walk off.
Yeah.
The Moabites too.
Yeah.
It's you Edomites. No.
Yeah.
Where's your facts on that?
Yeah.
No, that was the dad, or you know,
He might have done away with.
yeah.
You know.
Well, that's spiritual. It's spiritual because it shows you they're the exact opposite of us.
Yeah.
Like we hate it when you call us something that we're not, and you hate it when we call you something that you are.
Oh man.
That's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like you're the bizarro of us. Like, we have rhythm, and you don't.
Right.
You know, it's only between us and you out of all the nations.
Right.
You see, y'all do the complete opposite of us. So that lets us know in the spirit who you are, man.
Yeah.
You see?
Just like Cain.
Oh, that's what it is. Edom. All right. So this Edomite. That's what he said. He said. You know, Petra is down there in Edom. So he said, the Arabs dwell there now. So that's how you know they're the Edomites. But not only that, because Edom is red and the rocks in Petra are red. So that's how you know that they're Edomites.
I heard that before.
Because the rocks are red.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you're trying to deflect
yeah.
that you don't call yourself a redneck, or if you get smacked, or if you blush, or get extremely happy or scared, or cry at this video, you don't turn red.
Wow.
No, it's the Arabs that dwell in Petra now. That's what they try to say. You're Esau. You're hilarious, man. This is laughable. But at the same time, all the stuff's going on that we're speaking truth about, like the chariots. There's too many witnesses now. There's chariots everywhere.
Yeah,
It's so much, so many people recording on their phones. You can't say it's CGI. You can't say it's Project Bluebeam. You know, you can't cover it up.
He got some explaining to do. His math ain't adding up, man.
Yeah.
You know. But I was gonna say, cause when the Most High found Cain's sacrifice not worthy, you know, he took his anger out on Abel. He killed him, and just cause Abel did the right thing, just cause we doing the right things, what the Most High told us to do, he's trying to kill us because he's not seen in the good light anymore. So you just proving yourself to be Esau, man. The murderer from the beginning. You're doing the same thing,
That's
man.
right. That's right.
The same thing.
Come on. Preach up. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brother, and his neighbor, and he is not. And it said that he's being uncovered, his secret places. You know, all his crimes is being shown, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, all the lies that he's told over the many years, you know, through the course of history, you know. So he's getting mad because his purpose was not only rule by the sword, his purpose was to deceive the whole world.
That's
To let you know that he's not who he truly is.
That's right.
But you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, it's being exposed. He don't like that.
That's right. I back you up, Bob. It's Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Now we know that's talking about, America, okay, Babylon. All right, but it's also talking about who? The people who's running America, man. The Edomites. All right, because I don't know if brothers can find it. It's a part in Psalms where King David says, he said, "O Babylon," and he says, "O Edom." It's basically letting you know, because that's a prophecy, because Babylon wasn't even around the time of King David. You see? So he basically compared Edom and Babylon together. All right? It says, you got it?
Yeah, I think
Come.
This is the book of Psalms 137, and I start at 7. It says, "Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof."
Yeah, that's our nationality. And now that we're coming out, the fact that we're coming out saying that we're Israelites, they're really saying, no, do away with them.
Right.
Remember they say, race it, race it. Race it almost sounds like erase, right? They get rid of them. You see, go ahead.
Verse 8, and it says, "O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed."
See, O daughter of Babylon. So Edom is also known as O daughter of Babylon, man. You see? And when you go on, this Isaiah 47 and 2 says, "Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." Now when it says uncover thy locks, it's not talking about dreadlocks. Okay? When it says locks in the scriptures, it's never referring to dreadlocks, man.
Right.
It's actually talking about a veil. Remember, it said, "O virgin," so referring to like a woman, right? So uncover the veil, because a woman's supposed to wear a veil. And when you uncover a woman's veil, you see all her what? Her body parts, man. Her nakedness, right? All right, so you're being exposed for the wicked who you are, man. The wicked that you are. All right? It says, verse 3, "Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man." And guess what? That's Yahweh Shah when he comes back, man. When the Lord comes back, he's not gonna meet you as a man. He's gonna meet you as what? As a powerful angelic force. So you can't kill him no more. You see, your military might and your power and your beams that you got, and try to split the atoms and try to find this God particle, and your laser beams is not going to be able to do anything against the spirit, man. Remember, those elements were created by the spirit. You can't destroy that. You see?
Now mentioning Yahweh Shah is considered domestic terrorism and anti-Semitic.
Right. Right.
So Yahweh Shah is not coming back to meet them as a man.
Right.
Man, they say, you say Yahweh Shah's name, you're a terrorist.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
heavy. Those are the times we coming in.
Ooh.
And watch, man, 2020 is gonna be lit.
Definitely.
After we send up them curses, I'm telling you, man, that vibration is gonna be another power shift, man, through the spirit. I truly believe. We this piece of dedication that we just celebrated, it might be our last in this place.
Together as a family.
Yeah, together.
Together as a family, because Esau's cracking down on, he already know he already know where you live. He got the files on you and all. Every brother. He got the facial recognitions. He got everything he need to make things happen for himself. But like I said, maybe some did read the end of the book and found out you go ahead and do what you're going to do. You're going to be destroyed. So he prolonged his demise. But he don't understand that Yahweh Shai is in control of this movie.
He's speeding these things up.
And he's going to speed things up. And the scriptures say he's going to speed things up in the end.
There's a lot of things that this man, when you watch old movies, that he thought that how 2020 is going to be. Bro, the earth is so polluted.
Yeah.
The people are so through.
Yeah.
Even the scientists, the real smart people, they're just tired that,
Yeah.
that you can't put forth the effort that you did. You're getting weaker and weaker. You're losing your grasp of the earth. Oh, real quick, Sirach 18:1. Let me get Ecclesiastes 18:1. The Lord, go ahead.
Slaki. Sirach 18:1. He that liveth forever created all things in general.
Right, all things, including you Edomites. All right, you like we were saying, You're the eye in the sky, but there's an eye higher than you. Go ahead.
The Lord only is righteous,
Mm-hmm.
and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand,
Mm-hmm.
and all things obey his will.
Right. So he governs the whole earth. That's why you can't do what you want to do.
Right.
This man, he's changing times, changing seasons. This man has named days and months, making people do certain things. We were just talking about our spiritual routine, versus our carnal routine. Trying the clash of the two, trying to figure it out. But then you got Esau's playing into it too, trying to sucker you into his simplicity. It's just. But ultimately, it's the Lord. The Lord makes a way for us to escape that robotic, control that Esau tries to keep us in, through the Spirit. And knowing that is comforting, because we can break that easily. If you could read that precept from the top one more time.
Sirach 18:1. He that liveth forever, created all things in general. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
Yeah, now Proverbs 20:1. It says he is the king over all.
Yeah.
And what did it say after that?
King over of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
Right, it says dividing holy things from none's profane. The water gets to 33.
Okay.
All right, and let's get the two things that he's in control of. You got Proverbs out?
Come on, was it Psalms or Proverbs?
I think it's Proverbs 20:1.
Come on, this is Proverbs that mentions one of the market.
No, it's just 21:1. The
Come,
king's
yeah.
heart. Yeah.
Oh, this is Proverbs 21:1. It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord.
Right, because the Lord is the king over all the earth. So if there's kings on earth, that means what? The Lord is the king over them.
Come.
So read that again.
Come, this is
And
Proverbs.
Esau, you're the king in these times. You're the Pharaoh, or you're the Darius.
Yep.
All right, you're the Artaxerxes.
Yep.
You're the Caesar of this time, of this world.
Tigers.
You're the Antiochus, all of it, right? Epiphanes.
Yep.
You're this conglomerate of evil rulers wrapped up into one, because you've taken on all their ideologies. Everybody knows Esau is a culture vulture.
Yeah,
I was just doing some research this week on the Elamites, and this man destroyed the Elamites, man.
Yeah.
The British,
Yeah.
they went to India, man.
Yeah.
India almost got obliterated, and then it all ties in with their pollution over there. They're running out of water in certain parts of what is that, Delhi?
Yeah.
And that's why they're having those protests. They're running out of water because the mechanism in which they used were to preserving the water. It creates that mechanism causes a fog that flows in to that area, and the people are dying from the pollution. But that when you go deep into it, I was in a deep rabbit hole argument. It stems all the way back. It goes all the way back to the Dutch, man, and then to the British.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because you see the explorers with the hats, and then you see them with the Elamites, and then you look at the old pictures. It's crazy. But read that precept again.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 1. It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. As the rivers of water, he turneth it so that he will.
Right. If you got 18 still,
Come.
read just king of all and write whatever's after that.
It says king of all, for he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things among them from profane.
Right, that's why it says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it wheresoever he want. At first, Saul was a great king. Then he turned him left. David is and still is, it was a great king, but he went left a little bit. See, he controls how we operate. Even us, we have no choice. But see, the end of our righteous choices and the right decisions we make, we're going to receive eternal life. Esau, you receive doom and gloom. Yes, Bocav. All right. There is hatred based on ethnicity. All right, and there will be enslavement and payback. Yes, that is something to be hoped for our people.
The patience and the faith of the saints.
And it said, the Lord said He chooses the profane and the holy.
Right.
Yep.
Bakusha, you had something?
No, I'll go after.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's bring that out.
This is Sirach chapter 33, and I'll start at verse 13.
And this is how we know you're going to do everything that we say you're going to do. Through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because he gave us words that you can't resist.
Yes.
And you can't gainsay. We telling you who you are and what you're gonna do. How about that?
We all act.
While you sit in your castle and watch this feed
Yeah.
somewhere on an island you purchased back in the 1600s. You know,
We all actors. Man.
still clinging on to the past, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Doc.
This is Sirach chapter 33, and verse 13. It says, "As the clay is in the potter's hand."
That's a horrible life. You have a castle, all these rooms. You don't have no kids. You don't have the women, the livestock. You just in there, probably with little boy servants and shit, weird shit. Animals on the wall, these empty rooms. You know what I'm saying?
Hoarding up gold.
The castle probably belonged to us. You know what I'm saying? So the spirit's off in the place. You know, in Sirach, it talks about how the Lord is happy when the man has joy over his children. These Edomites, the children are dying of opioids, man. If you try to have joy of your children in the wrong season, you could get skin cancer.
Yeah.
Because the sun hates you. Bring out the dishonorable vessel in the scriptures. Edomites, man.
Yep, is Sirach chapter 33 and 13. It says, "As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best."
Yeah, that's why you can't. Oh, keep going actually.
Verse 14, it says, "Good is set against evil."
No, I'm sorry. I was looking for the one. Is the clay gonna say to the potter, "Why hast thou made me thus"?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
You got
Nine,
that?
right?
Yeah.
This is Romans 9, and I started 18. Yeah, I started 18. It says, "Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy."
Right, and we are receiving mercy. How do we know that? Because we're all here together. We know what tribes we're from. Now we have faith in Yahweh Shai, and we've been fully engulfed in this ministry, man. That is like receiving the understanding of this word, of having patience, waiting, and having faith in Yahweh Shai. That is mercy. But on the flip side of that, you got the majority of our people. You hear that siren? Getting caught out there.
Yeah,
Getting caught out there. Heathens getting caught out there. That's why I say he's going to have mercy on who he wants to have mercy. All right? We staying spiritual. Go ahead, Doc.
This is Romans 9 and 18. "Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy,
Right.
and whom he will harden. And whom he will harden, he hardened."
Yeah, Esau, you're being hardened right now, meaning you're basically in a straitjacket, you know, and being guided by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai on what you need to do. Do this, do that. All right?
Just like Pharaoh.
Because Esau believes in numbers, and it's been real heavy. He's been doing a lot of things on some spiritual days, according to the right way numbers are supposed to be interpreted, according to what people believe, the consensus, and then on his wicked side, man. So he's fully into he's making moves, man.
Pharaoh wanted to let Israel go.
Yeah.
But what did the Lord say? I'm going to harden his heart.
Yep.
So that he's going to turn back every thought that he think, which means you're not in control. You're not in control like you think you're in control.
Look, every Edomite you talk to, if you ask them, do you know if a race war is coming, they might say yes, they might say no.
Right.
But the second question they're definitely gonna say no to, and you know what that is? Do you want it to come?
True.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Right?
Yeah.
Not even Edomites. You can ask anybody. Do you know race wars are coming? Yeah, it looks like it's gonna happen. Do you want it to come? Nah, I don't want
I
that.
sure hope not.
Yeah, I sure hope not. Right. I hope I'm gone by then. Go ahead.
Now, if I can say this, while we was doing the pilgrims a couple of weeks ago, we was out in Clarendon, and we asked this Edomite a similar question. We asked him, do you want America
Oh
to be
yeah,
destroyed?
yeah.
And he said, I'm gonna give you a reason. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why America is not gonna be destroyed.
Yeah,
We say, oh, we want
That's
to
a
hear
positive
this.
thinker right
Yeah.
there. That was Edomite.
Yeah.
Had to be. Oh, did he give you 3 reasons?
No.
Nah.
He dropped the mic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
con.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably he walked off or something, probably. Esau's, man, Esau, you're a funny guy, man. That's why we put LOL. Because you, I mean, you have a card game with everything that you want to do. How funny is that, you know? And you've done some of these things. And I expect you to probably try and get the rest done, but it's not gonna work. See, he put it out there, all those cards and stuff you got people believing, all that stuff's not gonna come to pass, man. You know?
It's funny because he fancied himself to be sitting in God, the Most High's position, and then he's about to be brought down and shown that he ain't nothing but a man. So that's why it's so funny. What you done on that?
There was more, but you can go ahead.
Con, I got an example. This is Acts 4, and I just okay. Yeah, this is Acts 4 verse 13. It says, now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahushua. And that's the same thing they're doing now. They see us speaking with boldness, and they look at us as unlearned men, so they marvel at it. You know, it says, and beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against it. Hey, because that it was a miracle done, you know, by Peter and John. We doing miracles when we teach this word, man. Dude was calling us thugs and things like that. Well, what about when someone that did have a rough background, they come to this truth and their life is completely changed? That's a whole miracle, you know. But remember, the scripture said they should not be able to gainsay nor resist what we saying and what we doing.
You know what I just realized is funny? These Edomites are scared that our people are gonna wake up to this and maybe take it the wrong way. Like, shit, if they hear this, they might believe this shit and try and come get us.
Well, it's growing. This Black Hebrew Israelite stuff is growing.
That's why
These niggers think we're Edomites.
That's why they
God hates
dealt
us.
subtly with us in Egypt.
Yeah.
Because we came large in number. They don't want that.
Exactly.
You know?
And they're terrified, and some of these Edomites are even more scared that about how we speak about the elect. Because there's some elect out there that are waiting just like us, and they're gonna receive these spiritual powers. The superpowers. The superpowers. the probability of that happening terrifies them.
Yeah,
You know?
it would.
Because they've seen these movies. They got shirts, tattoos, you know, of these different characters of what they're capable
When
of.
they put it, they gross billions of dollars through Marvel Comics. How can they not see this happening?
You know what they want to do now, right? They want to make what's his name, Michael B. Jordan, or the other dude that was in The Watchmen, Superman. Now the first thing, now the first thing, everybody said, "How ain't no black Superman? Ain't no black." Yes, it is. In the comic books, there's a dude named I think Calvin Ellis in Parallel Universe Earth 23. His name is Calvin Ellis, and when you look it up, he was on the planet Krypton, and his name was Kal-El. But you have all these Edomites. Oh, it's not canon because he wasn't Clark Kent. Nah, the people who made the goddamn DC, they made a literally so-called black Superman. His name was Calvin Ellis. So they can do that movie off of that. And the name really Kal-El means all power. Call Allah. So they got the scripture. They got it from the scriptures, man.
Yeah, where else are you gonna say that came from? You Edomites, you just upset. You upset that we say call Allah, which is Lashwan Badash. They're terrified that we actually believe this.
They don't want to be excluded.
But our faith is supposed to seem foolish, man. These words are supposed to seem foolish to you. We want you to laugh at us, all right? We encourage you. You know why? Because it puts a heavier anger on the spirit of the Lord, man. The spirit of anger is upon him, man. And we're starting to get inklings of that back. But when he fully puts that anger in us, all right, we're not going to think. We're just going to act upon whatever his spirit tells us. Just like when you read Ezekiel. The first chapter of Ezekiel, it gives you a description of how everything stays in order, All right, when the spirit, within the angels and the chariots,
Right.
and the men, it said they all moved together. They didn't turn. They just moved. You know, that's exactly how we're gonna be.
This is, I'll read verse 14 again. Acts 4 verse.
And that right there is a parable. They probably people, you know, Edomites, heathens, scoffers. They watching that like, look at this guy, man. He doesn't know. But the elect out there is comforting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these Edomites, they dream about this stuff. We receive visions, they getting visions too. But in their visions, when the bullets hit them, it don't feel like splashes of water. It don't feel like somebody tickling you. It's just they waking up out of sleep. Oh, terrifying. That almost stung.
Nightmare.
You know.
Yeah, this is Acts 4 verse 14. It says, and beholding the man which was healed, standing with them, they could say nothing. But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred among themselves, saying, what shall we do to these men? For that indeed a notable miracle have been done by them.
Can't deny it.
Is manifest to all that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But that it spread no further among the people, let us straightly threaten them that they should speak henceforth to no man in his name. And
Watch. No, go ahead, Doc.
That's the famine of the word. They don't want the noise to be noised abroad, man. The word to be noised abroad. They're gonna stop it in its tracks. Go ahead.
That's why they have no choice to do what they're doing.
Can't.
That's because the word has gotten too far gone, and that's when they start. So now you start to see you can't speak in the name of Yahweh. So that should be a sign to let you know where we at. But that's the same thing they did to Yahweh when he raised Lazarus. That was it. Now too many people gonna believe on him. Yeah. We gotta do away with him. So instead of just acknowledging the truth, Esau, he thinks that he can get rid of the truth by just killing it.
Yeah, by destroying the internet. The thing is, that's gonna cause an uproar. You trying to come at us, all right, is gonna cause the rest of society to come at you.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you can't shut down. It's literally thousands of brothers and videos going up every day. You would have to shut down all of our accounts, all right, and then but all the Israelites that are monetized. But YouTube, they're not gonna be able to do it without affecting everyone else. And these people, this is people's livelihoods. They record everything they do to make money.
Because you still got the multitude, the rest of the 1/3 multitude is out there also. They blogging, they radio blog, they talking about these things, man. They are actually talking about these things. You see it out there. So it ain't just the prophets on YouTube. It's also the 1/3 out there also you gotta account for.
Yeah. There's the elect out there. That's why we do these videos, man.
Yeah.
You have men, women, and children that are of the elect.
That's right.
That are out there that tune to these videos. All right. We know some personally. All right, men, women, and children.
That's right.
All right, or not children. They basically men.
Right.
You have some men that are still in middle school. All right, that are still in high school. You know what I'm saying, up under the tutelage of their parents, and they understand that you Edomites have no choice. That's why they patiently waiting, catching the hell that they going through. And these words should be encouraging to you through the Spirit. All right. Let's go back to Romans and then Sirach 33. Get some more of that because that hits on the topic.
This is the book of Romans chapter 9 verse 18. And it says, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he harden. Not harden it. It says, thou wilt say then unto me, why do yet find fault? Why do he yet find fault?
Right, because a lot of people will say, well, if Esau do all these things and he's controlled by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, why you fault him? Keep going.
And it says, for who have resisted his will?
Right. That's why. He has to. He has to follow his portion of the script, man. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And it says, nay, but old man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High?
Now, who are you? Who are you to say, well, Esau should get a pass? I hear this all the time. Well, you should punish Esau because he's just guided by the Lord.
That's what that guy this past weekend said. Well, he almost alluded to. You know, he was like, he created this wickedness, but what's he gonna do with it? You know?
Who are you?
How did they fall?
He was asking, he was getting to, you know, Jake, they get to that point, well, why is the Lord doing this? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? When's he gonna show up?
Who are you?
You know?
Who are you?
Right,
Clay.
right.
You are an actor, bro,
Yeah.
and there's a producer and a director.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Yahweh Shimi Awashai.
Yeah.
You're just an actor.
Yeah, when this movie is over with, oh, we gonna get paid. It's gonna be payday.
Yeah.
You know? It's gonna be payday. We're gonna be running this thing back. It's gonna be it's gonna be unbelievable. It's gonna be tears of joy. We're not gonna be sad. If we crying, it's because we're gonna be so happy. Like, yo, we made it through there. But hey, we gotta endure. Did you get the keep going.
Come on.
That Potter part.
And it says,
It's getting juicy.
and it says, verse 20, verse 20 again. It says, nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Right, now go back to Sirach 33, the water.
Okay.
Go back to 33 and run that track back.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33, in verse 13. It says, as the clay is in the potter's hand
Right.
to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render them as liking him best.
Right, so like it said in Romans, can you read that question again,
Come.
in Romans?
This is Romans 9 and 20. And it says, nay, but O man.
That's your answer, no.
Yeah.
That was it right there. La-ah, go ahead.
It says, nay, but O man, who art thou that replies against the Most High?
And that's what Esau's doing.
Yeah.
And the point I wanted to make is Esau.
Yeah.
You know, you are so mad, and this is laughable. You're mad that you can't go up into the fourth dimension and kill the Most High. That's what he wants to do. Because right now, he has people believe that he's done that. People believe that the so-called white man is all powerful because he sits in that seat.
Yep.
He shows that his image, who the world believes is Jesus Christ. He's showing that that's him.
Yep.
And if that's him, then that means that what? That's his father has to be look like him too.
Right.
Well, also our Lord was crucified.
Yeah. And you're mad at the fact that he looks like us and he's coming to get us. All right. That's why you can't say why did you create me like this? You know, you don't have a choice. That's how you're created. You're an Edomite. You're doomed.
That's right.
Want to be an Edomite.
Right.
Want to be an Edomite. That was that video, bro. I don't want to be an Edomite. Hey, man.
Jesus himself.
Yeah.
Lord willing, every brother gets to run back. Cause man, that scene in Roots that's a strong scene when he beat his name out of him.
Yeah.
That scene, man, that's gonna get replayed on of 144,000 plantations. Straight up, man. That scene was serious.
We probably get the real scene.
Yeah.
And we'll get our memories back.
Yeah, you can have 9 Edomites lined up like that with a cat of 9 tails. Boom, hit them all at the same time. That's gonna happen in the kingdom, or 9 flying guillotines. You know what I'm saying?
Sound like a
Bring the head towards you. What's your name? No, that's wrong. Throw the guillotine back. Put his head back on him. You know?
Can I bring this out real quick?
Yeah, Kyle, go ahead.
God, this is Baruch chapter 4 and verse
Hey,
4.
shalom to the Akashad. Hey, y'all
Shalom,
Shalom, brother.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 14.
Yeah, get that Second Thessalonians, second chapter.
Got it.
Go ahead.
It says, let them that dwell about Sion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting had brought upon them.
Right.
For he had brought a nation upon them
It
from
said,
far.
come and remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They want us to stop.
Yeah.
They're not saying the they're not saying that the rage is linked to slavery
Mm-hmm.
or what happened to the KK, what the KKK did.
Right.
You know, because they're saying that we believe that they're Edomites. Well, okay, let's apply it to the scriptures. Why do we believe this? What did the Edomites do to the Israelites? All right, what about the curses? They didn't say nothing about the curses and all of this stuff. You know. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, verse 15, for he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strong language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. It says, these have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone, desolate, without daughters.
That's still in 33.
Oh no, that was Baruch. I went to Baruch.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was heavy. Go back to
33.
you had something like?
Second Thessalonians, you want it?
Yeah, let me finish this and then we'll go to Thessalonians.
Is Baruch chapter 33 and verse 14. It says, good is set against evil.
Ecclesiasticus, right? Yeah, you said
Yes, sir.
Baruch. Yeah,
Oh, Sirach.
we in Sirach 33.
Yeah, kind of this Sirach chapter 33 and verse 14. It says, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Right, and the tensions that go on between so-called white people and so-called blacks and Hispanics is not going to change. You know, the Lord said, "Good is set against evil." Whenever you see movies about so-called Native Americans, you always see them as what? Dwelling peacefully. They don't look crazy. You know, they don't look wild and rambunctious or anything. When you look up the history of the dynasty of like Mali and the Moors rule in the medieval time, they look what? Peaceful, well in order. You know, even though they were worshiping crazy stuff, they weren't all dingy and crazy looking. When you look up the history of these Edomites, the Vikings were us. But when you look up the history of the Edomites, they portray themselves as the Vikings. They don't look glorious in their apparel or fringes, things pertaining to the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They look like Conan, you know. They look like what they call it, what they had the world believing, barbarians.
Maya Wolf.
Yeah.
Beowulf.
Yeah.
Read that.
Savages.
Yeah. Go ahead, that was in the 33.
Oh yeah.
There's some more of that.
Verse 15. It says, so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another.
Yeah, 2 and 2, one against another. And you're going to continue to be against us. We're going to continue to be against you. It doesn't matter how many platforms you cut off, how many airways you try to stop, whether it's us or people that are not even us. The truth is still going to come out, regardless. You know. Because the Lord is having mercy on the elect. He said he was shortening these days. Esau, you can't prolong your days on earth, man.
He tried. He tried.
You can stretch the time in the spring and then fall, bring it back in the fall all you want. It doesn't. You're not gonna switch it up. Look, the ordinances are gonna proclaim that this is the end, whether you like it or not. You know, didn't it say that the sun was gonna shine? Get that precept, bro. Let me look that precept up, God. Let me look that up, God. It said the sun would shine 3 times or something to that effect. Basically, the ordinances would declare it as well. Or thrice, I think it said thrice.
If I can get this.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Genesis 3, verse 15. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. The enmity, making enemies, basically, man. Between what? Her seed was basically talking about the children of Israel, and thy seed, your offspring, Esau, Edom. All right, because you do go back to the serpent, man. Okay, going all the way back to the garden. You see? So it's always going to be a quarrel between us, man. That's just the way it is. But it ends with us ruling, being on top, man. You see? There's another one, too.
Precept. Isaiah 63:1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people where was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger. See, this is not Israelites. This is not talking about our anger. We reading of someone's anger towards Edom, Esau, you so-called white people. You see, we just reading the scriptures about your demise and your downfall. It says, I have tried the winepress alone. He's by himself doing this. Not with a gang, not with what they call us thugs, right? We're not talking about no gang warfare. We're talking about Yahweh Shah alone. It says, of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. This is talking about Yahweh Shem Shah. We're talking about here, talking about someone being sliced and diced. What is it? Ginsu knives at your butt. We're not speaking of our own self doing this. We're not talking about going to delis and shit and slicing down people. We reading your demise, what the words say. Now, if you fail to realize and to fail to read these scriptures, you doing a discredit to yourself. Because when it talks about shepherds not leading their sheep, Esau need to tell his fellow Edomites what's about to happen to them, man. This is what y'all need to do. You vocabs and you apologists need to tell your people, you know what? We're done. We're Esau.
Yeah. What Esau do is they don't want to cause panic, so what they do is they lie. Case in point, the so-called UFOs. They didn't want people to be hysterical, so they just said that they pretty much hid them, all the sightings of the UFOs, the chariots, called them UFOs, and pretty much some people think they don't really exist. Yeah. So that's what they do. They rather push off the truth, and just wait for that judgment, I guess.
You're doing a disservice to your own people, Esau. You got to tell, first of all, you need to tell who Yahweh Shem Shah is, who the world called God Jesus Christ is. You need to tell them the truth, man. And you need to tell them who is the Israelites. You need to tell the people who is Israel. Because in Genesis the 12th chapter, it says, if you bless Israel, you'll be blessed. But you don't want to do that because you got too much pride on you. This is part of your downfall, right? Pride comes before destruction, man. But if you do these things, which you can't do, just telling you, if you do these things, maybe you'll find some daggone mercy. Like the scripture said, he's going to have mercy on those who have mercy. But you ain't going to do that either. So all the things the scriptures speak about, you blaspheme. You go against what the scriptures say.
Yeah.
He should not learn righteousness.
He can't.
That's going to lead right into that.
Thessalonians?
Yeah, read that. We'll finish there. Your brothers have any precepts?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring them out.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6. This is
snap, that's it.
Oh, that's it?
What you about to read, huh?
6 and 8.
Read it. Start at
I
7.
thought you wanted to say
Start at 7.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, which shall be the
green right there. That's that royal majority right there.
Right.
Go ahead, Doc.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting and sunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follows?
Yeah, Esau don't want nobody to know that there's gonna be an end. That's what we telling you, man. You don't have a choice. All right, we telling you there's gonna be an end. All right, we telling everybody. It says, "Come ye nations, gather around."
That's right.
You know. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, Shalakiyu. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob hand held first the hill of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world,
Oh boy.
and Jacob is the beginning of it. That follows.
Yeah, Esau, you trying to get away.
Yeah.
we spiritually snatching you back. You know,
Yeah.
you can't get away. It's like a dog on a leash.
We red flagged your ass.
Yeah.
We
That's it,
Edom
man.
flagged your ass.
Yeah, man. It's over for you Edomites, man.
You done, man.
Go ahead,
This is
and that's the thing. These Edomites, they don't believe. They're like, man, they're lying. We're not Edomites. We know the Edomites are Arabs. They laughing and stuff. But you're mad. Why are you mad then?
Why you mad?
Why you so upset? Why you feel so convicted? And if you're not an Edomite, tell us who you are and claim it proudly. You know?
if you believe in the Bible, like you say.
Right. They said, I'm Italian. I'm German. What nation is that in the scripture?
Yeah.
Yep.
What's that? You know? Go ahead, Doc.
This is Second Thessalonians 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Yeah, Esau trying to hide behind the curtain, snatch the curtain back on him.
Yeah. Close that.
Yeah, get a load of this guy.
Close it.
I love Jacob. I hate this guy. This is him right here, man. Esau, man, hide behind the curtain. You so-called white people. You descend from the majority, basically 95% of you. All right, 90% of you. All right, you are Edomites. The other 10% of you. All right, you might be Israelites. You might be heathens. Who knows? You just look like Edomites. All right, but all you Edomites is over. It is over for you, man. Go ahead.
Verse 4.
You are the man of sin. That's the scriptures are talking about here.
Verse 4. Who opposes and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of the Most High.
Right, and he's not saying that he's basically saying that he is the Lord, but when you look up that word God, it's Allah, meaning power, showing that he's the power.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Showing himself that he is the Most High. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, it's a little more. Yeah, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
Who is the mystery of iniquity? Who has somehow been able to do the most evil on earth and is not paying for it? That's a mystery.
Smack you and hide his hand.
Of iniquity, yes. Three stooge your ass. You know what I'm saying? Edomite behind you, Edomite in front of you. He can push you over while there's another Edomite you on the ground, and there's another Edomite to run up and snap a picture of you.
Yeah.
Because don't the scripture say if you fall, your enemy will be the first one there
Yep.
to be against you.
Stand in your stead.
You know? Whew. And then take postcard, you know. He's the worst of the worst. The man of sin.
There's an old saying, all roads lead back to Rome, man. That's your Edomite.
Let's kick that off and we'll finish there because as prophets we're bringing out prophecy, you know.
Quick
This
precept.
is a good one. Go ahead.
Acts 5:38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men
Yeah.
and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
Yeah.
But if it be of Yahweh Shem Shai, it says God here for you Christians, you cannot overthrow it. Lest happily you be found even to fight against Yahweh Shem Shai. You see? So you, look, you blaspheming the scriptures if this counsel be of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's just straight up.
Can you read verse 28?
Read verse 28. Yes, sir. It says, saying, did not we straightly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine.
And and that's gonna be Esau coming against us.
Yeah.
You know, like the brother said earlier about the whole Yahweh Shai, they placed it on the news, by the way.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai's name is on the news.
Hey.
Before it was never like that.
Yeah.
So it's Yehoshua, it's all this other stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
type it in Google, it's the
Yeah.
red
Can't
line
deny it.
underneath of it.
And that was in Southern California,
Right.
bro.
Can't deny it.
Yep.
It says
Yep.
Yahweh Shai is coming back.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
And they're gonna sit there and straight up say that now we strictly command you not to teach in this name.
That's right.
What do you Hebrew Israelites are the enemy.
That could
See?
be. I look. That's spiritual because that could have happened in any other country, in any other place where somebody's going around putting up the name Yahweh.
Right.
Why here in Babylon of all places? You know, that's a mark, man.
Yeah,
That's a straight up mark.
Is there any more?
yeah, it's a lot, yeah. Real quick, it says, saying, did we not straightly command you that you should not teach in this name? And behold, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. Then Peter and other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh Yahweh Shai rather than men.
And that's what we're gonna do. No matter what heat is coming upon us, no matter what you plan to do, by way of the scriptures, we know we're gonna be all right. So we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. We're gonna
Sure.
constantly do what the scriptures tell us to do. Even when you take the scriptures away from us, we're still gonna have the name to call upon, and you can't stop that. You think some men gonna have the scriptures with them when they're in the concentration camps?
Right.
Right.
You see? All right, we're gonna forever have the name of the Lord with us, and we've been trained, and the Lord is gonna give us the mouth to utter the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
You know?
We got that name written in our heads.
Yeah.
You got that?
Forehead.
You read verse 40 out? After what you read before?
Yeah, verse 40, it says, and to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, meaning, guess what? We're going to get hemmed up for a priest in Yahweh Shai's name.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Big time.
If it happened to the men this is acts, by the way, actions. If it happened to the men in the ancient world, it's going to happen again.
Yeah, imagine somebody coming, the forces coming to your door, loaded up, suited and booted, with all their gear, and they ask you, have you been teaching or do you believe in the name Yahweh Shai? How you gonna respond to that? It's time to go.
Yep.
It's time to go. I'm gonna answer Khan. I'm gonna answer in my native tongue.
Because really, at that moment, ain't no games being played.
Yeah, no,
If
whatsoever.
they came to your house, that means they got you. They didn't did like people following Freedom of Information Act and finding out that they're being surveyed, surveilled by the government. At that point, they got you, man.
With the NDAA too, you know, the all that stuff that was everything that's going on with Trump. They were saying there was part of the NDAA. If he hurry up and enacted it, they could have suspended all the stuff was going on. So they're gonna try to start using this stuff, you know. And I use that as an example, just as an example. But we don't know what we're gonna say. The Lord clearly tells us that He's gonna put His words in our mouth at that time. You know, if it's common, then hey, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
You know.
Verse 41 said, and they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name.
And that's what's going to happen to the ones that really believe, man. Whatever persecution and physical torment we get put in, we're going to rejoice over it all, man. Because we're going to know at that point that we're really suffering for Yahweh Shai, man. Brothers may get persecuted, beat on, whatever, but at that point, we know at that point we're doing a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
And daily in the temple and in every house, they cease not to teach and preach Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
That's right. So, in other words, we're going to keep going until the Lord tells us to stop, man. Even in those times. When we're out on the move and stuff like that, we're going to keep going until the Lord tells us to stop.
And that's the thing. People don't understand that that's how great our faith is. You just gonna go and do something aimlessly, and so you just gonna rely on a voice to come to you or something. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what Abraham did. He was about to kill his son. He didn't know what he was gonna do. He had no idea the Lord was gonna reveal a sacrifice worthy. What was the sheep got caught in the thicket? I think it was. A ram got caught in the thicket.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir.
That could happen. We could get fed by sparrows. Look, when all hell breaks loose and the officers show up, whatever the Lord has deemed fit, that's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our faith is strong that, you know, if something was to go down, He might give one of us spiritual power.
Mm-hmm.
Scoop all the brothers up, drop brothers off in different places where they can be safe. You know, who knows? It could be the least of the flock. It could be anybody.
Yep.
He had an angel teleport Habakkuk
Mhm.
to Daniel.
Yep.
You know, give him food.
Yep.
When
One
he was in
time
the
of trouble.
Yeah.
Second
Ezra,
Ezra.
yeah, let's finish.
Second Ezra 5 verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. You Edomites, just like you see in that old MTV commercial, the elites, the so-called white man here in America, he's gonna send out buses to come round you people up when the law becomes lawless and it's untamable. All right, it says, where did that scripture say again?
And it says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens.
Right, the tokens means the signs.
Mhm.
All right, part of the signs is what? Things are getting chaotic. And this government has a system in place to try to contain that chaos. Go ahead.
Behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number.
And that's just not here. That's in all over the place.
Right.
You see what they're doing in China, detaining all them people, putting them in that concentration camp. Those camps are here in the States.
Yeah. And it's
You
all-
got the States blaming them, talking about how they so bad. What about here? China's pointing the finger back, like, look, you got prisons with people in them, and the private ones making money.
True that.
And you got empty ones that people don't even know about. So what the hell are you looking at us for? Because why? It's people everywhere.
It's
Salak, go ahead.
Salak, bro. It's uproars of the people everywhere, man.
Mhm.
All the uproars that you see in France and all the places that you see is the people tired of what they've been put through or what they're going through. They're tired of these fake government officials lying to them, taking all they got, taxing them to death, and they not receiving no benefits. They are tired of this, man. And this is the spirit of truth coming about, even in their own countries. You see, because they seeing these people been lying to us.
Yeah.
We've been giving them, uplifting them, and they never give back. See, the king, a wicked king, never gives back to his subjects. You see? But you see King Solomon, we read the stories, how his servants was dressed and behaved and what they were given. Sheba thought that the servants was the kings and the higher ups. This is how a king is supposed to take care of his people. And Esau and these other nations don't take care of their people. You see?
Greed.
What the scripture say? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. But when the wicked bear rule, what? The people are mourning, man, throughout the earth. And it's going to come a time when stress is going to break. You see? And you don't want to be up against a stressful person because they have nothing to lose, man. See, but you haven't learned your lessons, Esau. You haven't learned your lessons, Edom, Idumea, whatever you want to call yourself. You see? But that's okay because you're not supposed to learn. We keep saying this over and over again. You're not supposed to understand and learn. You're meant, this is the way you were made, the scripture said. One vessel unto honor, one vessel unto dishonor.
Hate to be destroyed.
Keep going, huh?
And it says, nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number. And the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest.
Right, so it's going to get worse. That's why these Edomites, what are they resorting to? Axe throwing.
Yep.
They're resorting to throwing axes. Read that scripture again.
But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest,
Right.
or that thou hast heard long ago.
Right. Now we gotta be careful, man. These Orthodox Jews might be throwing axes in DC soon, because they're scared of niggas
With a yarmulke on.
with a yarmulke on, with a kippah. with a killer.
And they gonna be justified. Too.
The kipper killers, man. That's what they gonna call themselves. They looking to kill us, man. These Edomites are looking to get rid of us, man. They want to put us back in slavery.
Yeah,
All right.
they say that them that kill the first thing if they do the Lord's service, man.
You're on video throwing axes. You calling us the terrorists? You're out of your mind, man. And then you got all types of militias on YouTube showing expert marksmen. Oh, this is my new gun. Look at this 50 cal. You know, out here shooting deers and stuff.
Taking pictures with guns.
Yeah, taking pictures, all on Instagram and
Singing the Israelite Christmas carols.
Oh man. Hit play on the track, bro. Hit play on the track, bro.
It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. In the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou see wasted suddenly.
Right, that's what's going on right now.
Con.
You know, ultimately it's gonna be, like I said, suddenly. It's gonna be real quick. Houses empty, food stores empty. You know, a lot of these creeks and lakes dried up. You know, go ahead.
But if the Most High grant thee to live, thou shalt see after the third trumpet, that the sun shall suddenly shine again in the night, and the moon thrice in the day.
Keep going.
Verse 5. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowl shall take their flight away together.
And what's ruling on the earth? The truth. All right, you have no choice but to let this truth rule. All right, that's why you fumble. You fumble when you try to discredit it. You try to discredit, and you have people who don't even believe in what we speaking on our behalf. You know. You guys have any more precepts?
I just had a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is it's like your 2 Corinthians chapter 13.
And I don't think where it's spoken about that sun and moon. That's probably different than what I was thinking of. So I'm not gonna say that that's what that is, because it said after the third trumpet. All right, and that's before you got to go back into Revelation and link that up. So we're gonna look that up and touch on that at another time. Go ahead, Doc.
Kind of. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 8. Real quick, it says, "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." You know, so everything that Esau is doing, he's thinking that he's actually deceiving the very elect. Or he think that he's actually doing something against the man of the Lord, but he don't know that what he's doing is actually already prophesied.
Yeah.
You know, so the Heavenly Father is working things out in our favor, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as many people as he trying to get to demonize us on that apologist channel. Well, that many more eyes is watching the Israelite thing as well.
That's right.
You know, and they see if anybody was watching it from the beginning, they see how you switched up and how we stayed consistent, man. You know, or they will see that. It's like even when Pilate, he went through the whole matter. He said he don't see no fault in this man. And how Ishaw was going through his trial, they had to keep sending him different spots because it was like, what did he really do? You know, and if you look at it objectively, that's what people gonna see. You know, they had no evil thing to say about us.
Yeah, because the conscious community don't have no answers for you. You know, your top elite, your polite, it left you high and dry, stole all your money, no answers. What happened? You see, so even you got Sod Nigga talking about Israelites. It got Israelites against Israelites, speaking on his channel because he understands, you know, the ways of money. He knows how to keep that thing going. You know, but it's still exposure to Israel. You know, like the brother said, it could be negative exposure or positive exposure. It's still exposure to Israel.
That since you brought up Sonetta and that's a good point. Just to circle back the whole topic, that how you know Esau has to move because he tried everything. He tried to come in by way of the black conscious community. He tried to come in by way of vocab now. This is his only hand, man.
Other Israelites.
It's really his only hand. You know, so
And he already got. It's gonna be you other Israelite groups out there that may see this video. Who knows? You probably not gonna watch to the end. Guess what? I'm still gonna speak on it. Prophesy to the wind. All right, you guys are easy targets, man. You out here at the gun range doing all types of madness on camera. Fucking 600-man march, all in uniform, yelling out the same deity that Esau worships. You know, so you all loop together, and then you got Yohana, horrible leader. You know, and you got now you got this guy Mahar Rakah singing Christmas carols. You know, so these guys are easy targets for just to be demonized and destroyed, ultimately.
And you know what they all have in common? They all don't go out on the highways and hedges consistently.
They do not.
You see, that's why when the Lord said go out on the highways and hedges, he meant that. All the brothers is on the highways and hedges. Esau can't come and say, oh, they terrorists. Because we out there every week. We on video.
Right, we live.
We live, we on video. We out there doing every week proclaiming the name of the Lord and the Son, man. Every week. So you can't say, oh, they terrorists. We out there every week showing forth and teaching.
Yeah.
Right,
That's why we told people to get out on the highways and hedges. You see what all these other groups have in common? They don't go out there consistently. Then they show videos of them going to the gun range.
Or if they do,
Yup.
or if they do
Yup.
show themselves out there, it's a 15-minute clip.
Yup.
It's edited.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Daniela said,
Mhm.
I don't believe you're worthy to be called a priest, even though you put out some good info. He has his videos on a secret page. If you wanna see his camp videos,
might be to his detriment.
I don't know if you got to go to a class or whatever, but we don't know what you do. You say you putting up videos, ultimately yes, it's in the Ishaw by Shemi Awashai, but look what Great Millstone putting up videos consistently has done. Wherever you don't have lines of Israel in Africa, lines of Israel in Europe, your videos are hidden. Even if you have the 100% truth, you should want to push it at the highest frequency that you can, man. Put everything uncut. Yahweh Shai was uncut with it, man.
Yeah, when they got Yahushua, he said, wasn't I teaching openly in the temples?
Right.
You know, I wasn't hiding anything. They talk about we trying to conspire or something. No, we out there in the open. We uploading the videos. We even do it live.
Yeah.
You know, of what we do. Anything else, you don't know what we do.
Yeah.
You know, you try to act like you do, but you don't. And if you've been looking, you're gonna find nothing, man.
And that's another real funny thing about you Edomites that pisses you off, because this is all you hear and this is all you see. After these go off, we go back to our normal lives here in slavery, and we gonna fellowship and drink yaya, and be, because they think, oh, they're drunkards, they don't have no jobs, you know. Clearly, there's a roof over us with lights on.
This, bro.
Sitting on the couch.
You're sitting on the couch. We got anointing oil. It costs money to get in. We doing stuff, man.
That's one fly ass cardboard box.
He's mad that he don't know what we do behind the scenes.
Exactly.
And it's funny.
But you remember they came at Yahushua with like an army.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows you that they feared his power.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you probably didn't even have the whole everybody with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they came at him with a whole army, and he was like, "Well, I told openly, you know, you come at me with like this,
Mm-hmm.
you know," and that was the beginning of that. Like people watching, they could see that was the innocent,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what they're gonna try to do to us. So
Yeah.
it's prophecy.
And if you're new to this and you don't know where we at, go to DC, all right, and we by the Howard Theater in Washington D.C. Or if you're in D.C., ask anybody where the Israelites. They'll tell you. All right. You can find. If you don't find us, you might find another group. All right. But shit, if you find the wrong group, you might not get no questions answered. If you find us, you'll get all your questions answered. You find them other groups, they're gonna throw you for a loophole, man.
You might end up thinking you got clapped back.
But you Edomites, you have no choice. You Edomites are gonna start coming out to the camps, all right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
By the boatload, all right. You're gonna get from behind that keyboard, a lot of you, and you're gonna try and locate us, you know. But guess what? The spirit is going towards the direction of the famine of the word.
Yep.
You know, we might not be going live all the time, so you might not know where we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's gonna get dangerous. You saw how Vocab just found the apostles easily, and then you had the guy who did the video on how he did it. Oh, it's just this easy. You know how many steps it was? well, let me go to the Geo and who's going on YouTube and doing all that to locate somebody live. Unless somebody on the live feed says, I want you to come find me, what are you doing? And it's going to get to a point where it's going to be people out there who are mad enough that want to, are bold, the Lord might put the Spirit on them to come out to some of the churches to persecute the churches. So we might not be going live. Hey, well, the internet might not work. We might be at camp and we're live and an EMP hit.
Yep.
Well, that's what we hoping for. And Esau, you have no choice. Just like this man, the Yahweh Bashim Shah used the Moabites and the Ammonites to shut off the power of Hawaii. They hit that EMP that went off. They got something planned for you, man. All right, that Kim Jong Boom, that's what I call him. He said he had some type of surprise coming, but it might be a bluff, you know. We don't put our hope in him. We put our hope in Yahweh Bashim Shah.
That's right.
So with that, we give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. That's the Most High name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Shalom to the elect, double honors to our elders and apostles, known as great millstone these times in the English, all right, and in the Hebrew, that would be God Walla Wakah, all right. Shanik Kabbalah Kam, Shalom.
Shalom.
Life lesson?
Yeah, I was brought from Mississippi.
Oh yeah. Go, man.
I know, wasn't he